Schuler.
Schuler. 10 is Joe Prieto. 10. Or sorry, 10 was Joe Prieto. 11, Nico Padilla.
I don't have 11.
Okay.
Sure.
Put him in for 14. Oh no, we have a 14 here. You need to add it. Okay.
14?
Yeah. 11 is
11.
Nico, Nico. Padilla, P-A-D.
M-I-C-O.
N-I-C-O. Nico. Padilla, P-A-D-I-L-L-A.
Padilla.
Okay. At 14.
14.
Christian, C-R-I-S-T-I-A-N. Christian Jarmilo, J-A-R-M-I-L-L-O. 16.
Yeah.
Javier Copacha. 18.
18?
Yeah. Christian, same as above for 14. Christian. Tejada, T-E-J-A-D-A. T-E-J-A-D-A.
Cool.
21, Giovanni Garcia. 20,
Yeah.
okay. 22, William Valencia.
I love this. When I'm singing the anthem. Then it's Rodriguez.
23 is Chucho Arias.
23?
Yeah, 23.
I have Jesus Alberto Rodriguez.
So it's Chucho, C-H-U-C-H-O. And his last name is Arias. A-R-I-A-S.
Chucho.
A-R-I-A-S.
Arias.
Yeah, and there's another 23, Marcus Wynn, but I'm not going to worry about him. Oh, he's 26, good. So there's Marcus Wynn for him.
What
we got 24?
Right.
Nicholas Garzon.
Marcus Wynn.
Yeah, Marcus Wynn.
Oscar Fuentes.
Yeah. So, Oscar Fuentes. 30 is Juan Quintero.
What was it, Juan?
Juan Quintero. Q-U-I-N-T-E-R-O. He's a goalie, so maybe he's at the bottom.
I would put Charles Suarez.
Okay. Charlie Suarez. Rafael Rivera is 55.
Ryan
Ceballos.
Ceballos. And Daniel Rodriguez.
Danny Rodriguez. And 79.
Alejandro Garzon.
Garzon, yeah. And 98. Christian Gonzalez.
Perfect. Awesome.
Then we just have to find a way to make this see.
Do you by any chance have like an extra piece of paper? So I was able to get the Awesome, thanks so much.
Yeah.
So Marcus Wynn had a hat trick last game,
Okay.
and Gio Zapata had 2 goals for Colombia.
Who did?
Gio Zapata.
Okay. All right. Where should we? Can you see these guys okay?
Yeah, if it's finally Morocco.
Yeah.
You can also just have the.
Oh, any idea how we go on? I'm not gonna give it right now.
What do you go on?
How we?
Top?
Which,
With mics?
yeah, which channels we're on? You know what channels we're on? Do you know the channels? Maybe.
I think we're these 2.
Yeah, good. It sounds like we're live. So. These 2.
Hello?
Test.
Yep.
Oh, okay, hello, testing 1 2 3 4. 1 2 testing 1 2 3 4.
Yeah.
I can hear it. Yeah.
We're good.
All right. So what do you think? Is it both of them or is it one? This is you. Okay. Testing 1 2. There we go. I don't know if the mute buttons work.
You can hear me, but not on these.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, you can totally hear me?
Oh.
It's on mute.
Oh, okay, good. That works. That means it's working. So. Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to the FIL World Championships here in Netanya, Israel. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Josh Kreisman. And Josh, we've got Finland in the blue with the white numbers going right to left against Colombia in the white with the blue, dark blue, I believe, or black numbers outlined in red. And big game for Colombia, obviously, and Finland. Finland can clinch the pool with a win today. Colombia would need to have a superhuman effort. They'd have to win by a lot of goals to come out of this pool. Finland controls the opening face-off. Lauri Usitalo gets the ball ahead. And Alexei Kiviniemi asked the Finns not to give the ball to Kiviniemi because that was the one name on this Finnish team I wasn't familiar with. I thought I'd need some time to get used to it, but he's handling it right away. Now they move over to the far side. Jarno Aaltonen, the only man at the event taller than I am, number 9 for Finland. Keep an eye on him as he is down in the stack. There's Kiviniemi. Rope Jokela. Jokela setting up down below the net. We're number 50, and Robert Reichel, number 6, is about to get the pass. 2 key snipers for this Finnish team you're mentioning in the first game. Reichel had 5 goals, and Jokela 5 assists. There's Aaltonen picking up the ball. And a wide open look, but it's ripped low to high and way too high by Gorman Christopher.
Yeah, that shot was basically just a huge miscommunication by the Colombian defense. The goalie should have been able to call out that open attacker right in front of him.
Jokela on the run. He loves to shoot, cutting across the top. That is his forte, and he makes no mistake, making it 1-0. Just a lovely snipe on the run, and the Finns jump out ahead.
Yeah, the Colombians were really late on the double team, and Rope was able to capitalize on that.
at the face-off circle. Harley Humphrey almost had it there for Colombia, but instead it's big Joachim Miller. Passes over to Jokla, but he was looking to shoot before he even had the ball. Oh, and that's a bit of an error there by Harley Humphrey. As I believe that ball was just going to roll out on the missed pass. He could have just let that roll out and have possession, but instead tried to make the save. But he wanted to get it turned upfield. Ball comes back out to Ansi Kaselmi. Kaselmi trying to work his way through. Gets a little communication. There's some open space. Shoots it. Went a little high. Not sure if it went off the goalie's stick or not, but either way, it's out of play at the back.
Yeah, that was a really great slide by Charles Suarez, getting there just the.
But then, and then a bit of a breakdown. Valencia doesn't quite see Yemi Viren. The pint-sized sniper rips one home. Well, tucks it home from right on top of the crease, and great look by Finland. And again, we are seeing a few breakdowns by Colombia, and that's to be expected for a very young nation. But they're going to be trying to iron out some of those wrinkles.
Yeah, it's dangerous. They look like they're sliding a bit late, which is effective in breaking up shots, and it helps them get the ball back faster and creates turnovers. But it can always allow a shot.
Well, in that case, Viren just had tons of space, and he would not make a mistake on that one. Extended battle. Humphrey pulls it out. Santiago Concha heading after. Can't get there quite in time. And the Ellison was about to stay off the field. Decides to come back out. Play some defense. And Finland will set up the ball in the stick of Risto Suantausta. Hands off to Aho. It's Kimi Aho. Colombia packing it in. Finland trying to work through. Good job by the Colombians to force everything to the outside. Jokla is going to try and set something up. Oh, and they do get a cutter to Reitala, but he can't catch it. And it's scooped up nicely by Giovanni Garcia. He's under some pressure. Tosses it back to his keeper. It's Oscar Cifuentes with the ball. No pressure on the goaltender by Finland, so he's got some time. That's a bit smaller field than the normal size here over on Field 3 at Wingate. The terrific facility here at Wingate, but this is definitely a smaller field. And you can see on the clear, if you leave someone open a little bit, the clear happens really fast. You can get up the field. The flip side of that, of course, if you pressure, you can close down those spaces quite substantially. Colombia working in the offensive zone. Danny Rodriguez takes a big hit, hangs on to the ball. It popped out momentarily, but he was able to recover. Nice job there. He's under pressure from David Cantala. Rodriguez hanging on. Reverses direction a few times. Now he makes a pass. Gio Rendon. Rendon in behind. Sorry, he's going to try and make a dodge out. Gets a shot off. Oh, nice save. If it got through, it may have actually been blocked by the defender. But great job to dodge through and create something. And then the loose ball picked up by Chucho Arias.
Yeah, the Colombians are doing a great job finding space and not letting the pressure get to them. And eventually that's going to lead to a lot of good chances if Finland keeps up the defensive pressure.
Colombia resetting things. There's a dodge by Oscar Morales. They'll change of direction. And Marcus Wynn in behind. Watch closely by Joachim Hlavati. Tried a little spin move, but Wynn had it knocked away from him. There's a short arm shot as he's getting bumped by Aho. Danny Rodriguez trying to get that one off. It's interesting watching Finland play because obviously they enjoy their field lacrosse. They are a very box country, I feel. They was in Turku, Finland last year for the European Box Lacrosse Championships, the first ever. And I mean, Finland put on such a great show. Oh, what a shot on the run, crossbody far side. That is a fine piece of shooting by Richard Sainthill, the Newmarket native.
Yeah, what was nice about that is, as you were saying, Finland's a very box-oriented country, but he was able to use his offhand to get a split dodge in there that led to the goal.
We have a timeout for Colombia. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman, and this is the 2018 FIL World Championships. Finland jumping out. That's 3-0 now. The score is not actually up on the flip cards over on the scorer's tent. Oh, it's down at the end of the field. Oh, look at that. Thank you. This is my first time on field 3. I'm still orienting myself. I was looking across the field. I was looking around. We do have a screen up at the end of the field. It was right behind the camera, in my defense, when I did look over that way. So I'm going to blame the camera guy. You cool with that? Yeah, he says that's cool. Blame him for anything. So we're having a lot of fun here in Netanya, Israel. You've been here for a while, Josh. What have you been up to as an intern?
Yeah, I've been here since July 1st. We've been doing, before the tournament, we were doing a lot of marketing, a lot of logistical stuff. I remember my first day here, we strung all the nets for the tournament. And yesterday, we really started getting busy. We had to start doing field ops for the games, so that the scorekeeper's table, doing penalty timing. There's a lot of people doing the social media for various teams, various sponsors.
Just a lot of things that go into making a tournament like this. You don't realize how much goes into it until you're behind the scenes. Epic Lacrosse, the leader in technologically advanced lacrosse equipment, speaking of behind the scenes, is proud to be the official head, shaft, glove, and arm protection of the 2018 FIL World Championships in Netanya, Israel. Thank you to all the teams that trusted Epic for their gear needs. Epic Lacrosse, live, play, be, and Trusted Choice is the official insurance partner of the 2018 Worlds. Protect what matters most, from business to home, auto, and life. Trusted Choice independent insurance agents are there for you when disaster strikes. Go to trustedchoice.com to find a local agent near you today. We are back to the face-off with 12:55 to go. Finland up 3-0. And that's David Kantala battling, but he is called for a violation. It's going to be Colombia ball.
See, that's the Finnish pressure turning against them. They doubled the ball, and he split them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a high-risk, high-reward approach. If it works effectively, you strip the ball, you get it back, and you just completely eliminate their possession. If not, it can lead to some chances. But nothing too dangerous came of that one. Keep an eye on it, though, as we move forward. The ball now. Goes out of play behind the net. Colombia will start with possession. It's pretty tight back there with the very cool stone walls, the tiered system. And penalty coming to Finland. There's another one. Looks like Joachim Miller may have taken the second one. Oskari Blai, I believe, gets the first call. No, sorry, it was Joachim Hlavati, 68. Oh, see, no, Hlavati had run to the penalty box, and it wasn't him. It was Joachim Miller. And Marcus Matala actually ran over to Miller and was going to grab his long pole from him, then realized there were already 4 poles on the field. So he stuck with his short stick, and Colombia with the extra man as Miller is off. Looks like Miller's got both fouls. Oh, and that's a disappointing toss to have that ball go away. The recipient just wasn't ready for that pass.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to attack the short stick on the upper right side of that penalty killing unit. Oh, Colombia's pressing Finland pretty effectively. They look distraught.
Finland makes it up into the offensive zone, though. You're going to see how much they can kill of this Joachim Miller penalty. Rope Jokela will toss it back up top to Mika Helminen. Helminen moves it over to Kasalmi. The Colombians in their horseshoe shape. Just keeping the Finns to the outside. Both teams seem fairly content with Finland passing the ball around on the outside. Colombia just doesn't want to let them inside, and Finland is pretty happy to let Miller's time tick off. Might be interesting. I mean, with a 3-0 lead in a game that Finland is heavily favored to win, you might think they would, in this situation, look at it as a chance to practice their man down for a situation where they do have to push. But on the other hand, I mean, you want to just work on just having the man down in general because they don't get a ton of time to practice together with their coaches. The coaching staff, a brilliant group of guys they brought over from Canada. Tracy Kolosky, one of the great coaches in the game, a real riser, having just finished his illustrious playing career a few years ago. And he's got Neil Doddridge with him and Pentti Pekkanen, who's a veteran of Finnish national teams and just hung it up last year, I believe. And now Tracy Kolosky, who is very vocal, is on the sideline, hands on his knees, shouting out some directions as Finland's back to full strength and starting to break towards the middle. Aaltonen goes underneath. Shovel pass. Reichla was right on top of the crease. He's had 2 passes in great shooting areas and dropped them both. Not something we see from him very often. Robert Reichla is an absolute sniper. But we're going to take the hydration break as we're going to get these regularly, especially during the daytime games, because it is very warm here in Netanya, Israel. Chance to give you a reminder as we take this break that today's game is brought to you in part by Corum Watches. Since 1955, Corum has adopted creativity and boldness as its guiding principles. Corum, the official timekeeper of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Learn more about Corum at www.corum-watches.com. Those bottom blue group teams and try and work your way. If you win your group, your pool, you can win, in theory, this championship. Obviously, it'd be a long way to go, a tough road to go through a lot of tough teams, but you have that opportunity. If you come second or third in your pool, then you are playing the lower seeded teams and you're working for rankings. And it can be challenging in some of these, like we said, in the early games when you're facing some of the higher seeded teams. Finland, who were 13th in Denver. That ball is right down underneath us, and we cannot see what's happening in the corner. But Finland comes out. Oh, and that's a little drifter by Rope Jokela as he just kind of floats a shot over the top, catches it right in traffic, right on top of the crease. He's got such slick hands. He's able to just toss one softly up into the far top corner.
Yeah, you can really see how being great at box helps them play field, especially in the attacking zone.
Oh, yeah, you get inside, and I mean, Rope Jokela is used to having guys all over him. And, as a star player for Finland, everyone's well aware of what he can do, so they're really paying attention to him and to Reichla. So he has to be prepared in tight. And that was, again, just a case of Jokela with that very quick first couple of steps, getting body position on his defender. And once you've lost body position, you can't really get it back. You can just try to make a trail check. In that case, didn't quite work out for Colombia. Extended battle once again. Harley Humphrey kind of rolled over on his back. Eventually it's going to be Alex Kiviniemi coming up with the ball. Jokela comes near side. That's Matthias Timonen. We're just getting Kimi Aho out on the field. He joins in the play. And Finland will go to full attack mode. 4-0, Finland up. We've got about 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. Running off a check and then into a second one, though.
Oh, that was a great slide.
Yeah, Alti Hutiainen. And, it was Giovanni Garcia that slid across. And there's another high drifter of a shot. This one by Matthias Timonen. And Finland not ripping these. They're just getting in tight and finding the spots where Oscar Cifuentes can't get to them.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they run their offense. They're using they don't really have anyone just sitting on the crease. They're using a lot of cutters, creating space so that they can use their ISOs. And Colombia's actually done a decent job defending the ISOs. It's just the pass that comes after where they need to recover.
Yeah, we saw that one brilliant slide by Giovanni Garcia a little while ago, but not happening all the time. And sliding is so challenging because, like you said earlier, sliding late can be a very effective way of dealing with a shot, but you need to find the right time because if you go too early, you're just opening yourself up for the opponents. But if you go too late, you just give them wide open access. And Finland, some of these Finnish players with their box experience don't need a whole lot of space to make something happen. Juan Lesmis gets the face-off win for Colombia, beating Yemi Viren. He will hand off, and Javier Gopacha into the offensive zone. Throws it to Win behind the net. This is my first chance to see Colombia, but you can tell pretty quickly that Win is a guy they're going to go to try and create things off the dodge. In that case, he was trying to feed it out front, but that, I think, is a factor, too, of this slightly smaller field. You can see how quickly everything just collapsed in for Finland. Win thought about going for the ball and saw the looming, menacing figure of Henrik Harala on top of him, and eventually does come up with it. Wow, nifty move by Win. Takes a little swat there from Joachim Hlavati. Shot from the outside, no problem from Usitalo.
Yeah, as we were saying, there's a lot less space on the field, and you can always see Win looking to dodge from Max, and it looks like the shorter back line's giving him a really hard time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously his quickness is a big factor, and when you don't have anywhere to go, the defense doesn't have to commit to going with you. Extra man, and immediately Win finishes. Finland just didn't look prepared. You can see Joachim Miller just talking to his defensive cohort. They are huddling up to discuss what happened, because that was a big breakdown for Finland, but brilliant play to just flick it across immediately by Win and let Gio Rendon flick that one home.
Yeah, it didn't look like they could. They saw him come up from Max. That needs to be communicated by the Finnish D.
But he started with the ball in the restart. I mean, you got to know he's got the ball. We got some wind blowing through here, and it is lovely. I'm still adjusting this to the Israel heat. Interesting, for those of you who are back in North America, for instance, I'm from Ontario, so anybody back there, or from similar climes, the temperatures are actually pretty similar to what we'd be used to at this time in the summer in a lot of the world. Around, big hit. Flag is coming. He might be going off for being big and strong.
Yeah, that look. Oh, they're saying he got him with the elbow.
So Alex Kiviniemi is going off. I actually thought it was Severi Koskinen that hit him. Yeah, Koskinen is going to the box. Okay. I saw Kiviniemi heading towards, I thought going to the penalty box. I was like, what? He didn't do anything. But so Koskinen gets it. They're going to say elbow? Okay.
Yeah, you could see Win creeping into the back through the back door. Exact same spot he got the goal last time.
Yeah, it was Win that finished, and he took the pass from Gio Rendon. I think I mentioned it reversed, but yeah, Win is just kind of lurking back there. Looking very calm, trying to look like he's not going to have anything to do with the play. But you know he's going to slip in. Colombia moves it down. Rendon. That one heads out of play, and it will be Finland possession. The missed pass goes awry. Finland gets into the offensive zone, and Joachim Miller tosses it over to Aaltonen. Jarno Aaltonen is going to go for a trot while the penalty time just winds down. Koskinen jumps up out of his chair. I think he was checking to see exactly how long was left, and he is released. So in comes Kiviniemi. Timonen in behind. Gets clear. Tries to pass across the crease, but it's Cifuentes jumping on it. And then Cifuentes with the chop as the Finnish player tries to come through and take it, and succeeds in doing so. Unfortunately, whatever's happened down there has happened right in line with the cover. And we're seeing basically what you are. You see maybe slightly more because the camera is out at the edge of the platform here. But it will be a Colombian penalty. Joe Prieto is heading to the box. So we'll see what Finland can do on the man up. Penalty still being adjudicated.
Yeah, look for Finland to use their size. They have the guy sitting on the crease now, and he's definitely going to be a factor. They're probably going to move him up top and have someone cut through and try getting the ball like they've done.
Yeah, Gorman Christopher on the crease. And then, but Jarno Alton and the really big guy over on the far side. Ball starting in the stick of Antti Kaselmi, but it looks like they're going to toss it immediately over to Richard St. Hill, which they do, and then to Jokela. Reichel is down on the crease. They get it to him. He tries to tap it and misses a pass again. And if you're just watching this game, I can't emphasize enough to you that Robert Reichel does not miss those passes nearly as often as it looks like he does the way things are playing out today. Coming into the final minute of this first period of play. 5-1, Finland leads. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. I keep wanting to call you Chad. I don't know why. You just kind of look like you. Oh, what a recovery there by Gio Garcia. As it looked like Gorman was going to be wide open with an empty net. Cifuentes off gallivanting. And that is it. What a game Giovanni Garcia is having. To me, he's the man of the match for Colombia so far.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on defense. Oh.
Cifuentes ices it. And Laurie Usitalo will hand it off. That pass is actually missed, but Koskinen is able to scoop it up. And here comes Joachim Miller. Lob pass ahead to Levati. So the Poles getting involved. Finland has taken a timeout with, there's around 20 seconds. The clock has kept running. It stops with 16. But it was around 19 or 20 when the timeout was called. So Finland's going to set up. And again, this is the case. They're up 5-1. Obviously, the game's not over. They want to keep attacking, keep making things happen. But it's also when you don't get a lot of chances to practice and play with your national team, you want to take any opportunity you can to work on things like end of quarter protocols, procedures.
Yeah, 100%. And it's good to see them moving the ball around a lot.
So we'll start with 16 seconds to play. Finland in possession. Gorman Christopher has the ball. Kaselmi down the alley. Jokela over on his offside. Now he's heading to X. Gets it out to Kaselmi. 2 seconds. They got to shoot. They get it. Perfect timing. Not sure that's how they drew it up. You can hear some yelling, letting them know they're into their final few seconds, and Kaselmi basically steps into a space and taps one home.
Yeah, he did a really good job protecting his stick there, not letting the Colombian defender get the ball away, even though he had great body position. And again, that's something you see a lot in box, where you go under the guy and finish.
Other action this morning here at the Wingate Institute. Hong Kong leading Uganda 5-1. Uganda with a huge win yesterday and a great game. I had the opportunity to call against Luxembourg, where Uganda came back and won 7-6. Japan routing the Netherlands. They are up 11-0 in the second quarter. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to Netanya, Israel, the 2018 FIL World Championships. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman, and we are into quarter number 2. Finland up 6-1 over Colombia. Finland now going left to right in the blue. And Colombia will start with possession. Marcus Wynn, as you would expect, is going to have the ball in his stick. Little pause while the referee always helpful referees, and they get his bucket connected there. Make sure the snap is done up so he is in full safety. Win way back in the corner. Looks like he would like the extra space, as we've talked about. Not a lot of room for him in behind. And you see he's using his quickness, gets it over to Rendon. Pass through, shooting offhand. Nice little rip, but didn't quite find the target. Win once again, dodging from X. Tries to hit the cutter. I don't think it was quite there. Win just saw the man coming. Got a little overexcited maybe. And because that was almost there. Altonen with the one-hand pass. Now they're going to come up to Kiviniemi. Kiviniemi. Finland setting up with Raitala. Can't quite connect on that pass with Timonen, but Altonen tracked it down, gets Kiviniemi. Up to St. Hill. Hands it off to Kiviniemi. Nice solid pick. That one's off the post, and Altonen, smart play. You can see he was right there, but let it go because he knows if he tries to catch it, touches him, and it goes out, they lose the ball. Whereas by just letting it go out on the rebound off the shot, they will retain possession since he's closest to the spot where the ball went out of play. Finland setting up in the back now, Altonen.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're sort of just passing the ball around now, looking for openings, and here they got their matchup they wanted, clearly, and led to a good shot, but they weren't able to capitalize.
Altonen with the big rip. Picked up. Oh, and there it is. Jarno Altonen going high to high, and in this case, very high to high. The 6'10 attack man rips that one home far side past Cifuentes to make it 7-1 for Finland.
Colombia is doing a really good job at defending with their midfielders. Finland's not trying to dodge with theirs, and it's just not working. They're able to get the pass off after, but that first effort isn't going through, which is great to see for Colombia.
Yeah, those are the building blocks, and we talked about how important it is for the growing programs in Colombia and just their second World Championships, finishing in the 30s last time, wanting to grow, and those little building blocks are the positives that you take. And you can see the coaches. If we, you can just see on the right of your screen there at the top, the Colombia coaches really giving their guys a hand, letting them know, encouraging, but also giving some tips as they go on how to address the issues that are arising. Also, down onto the crease, and the little underhand pass over to Raitala. That one skips away. And I'm starting to think it's not so much the lack of practice. Robert Raitala is just not having a very good hand-eye day. Because he is, again, if you were just watching him play for the first time, this is not him. He is a dynamic offensive player.
Yeah, it looks like Colombia is tightening up their zone defense so that they can defend those inside shots Finland's always looking for.
And that's something, again, that, of course, you can see with the slightly smaller field. You're going to have to make some adjustments. Good work by Rendon. Joachim Miller not letting him go anywhere. Trying not to be over-aggressive. You want to avoid taking any penalties. They'll pass it up top, and Oscar Morales will just hang on while Colombia makes a change. Marcus Matala comes out from the Finnish bench to pick up Alex Mandel, who is coming off the Colombia area. Win. Switches hands, shoots, scores. Lovely little change, and didn't need a whole lot of space. You can tell that he is comfortable in close quarters. I'd be stunned if he isn't a pretty regular box lacrosse player as well, because he did not need much room to get his hands loose.
Yeah, it's really impressive. He has no fear going against those long poles. He's always looking to score, and he did it there, and he might be his 3 goals from last game.
Yeah, he certainly has the talent. You can see why he got that hat trick in their opener. Joachim Miller just making his way out to the wing for this faceoff. Jimi Viren in for Finland. Harley Humphrey, as usual, taking by far the majority of the face-offs for Colombia. 7-2 after the win goal, but Viren comes up with possession, and Finland will immediately go to the attack. Gives it up top. David Cantola. Oh, sorry, that's Antti Kasalmi. Aaltonen ripping it. Bouncer. And he started winding up, and nobody really came to him. And you can hear Gio Rondon down in front of us saying, somebody pick him up. Don't just let him step in and take that shot. That's good advice.
Yeah, it's hard on a smaller field. The restraining line's much closer, so the defenders might not realize, oh, this guy's in scoring range when he's right behind it.
Aaltonen almost looked like he couldn't quite believe they were giving him that much space as he took a couple steps in and was winding up, and then was just like, okay, I'm going to shoot. Guys, I'm going to shoot over here. Away he goes. So big rip by Aaltonen. Nice ground ball by Wynn in traffic. Rondon down in the corner. Great work coming out, but the save by Usitalo. Crease call as Rondon stepped in there after the shot. So Usitalo will have free rein to pass the ball out. Play blown back in. Mika Helminen comes to take the ball. He's got 3 Colombians around him, but just dodges through them. And then throws it to no one. And you can see, it was interesting that Alti Hutianen just was going to actually set a seal. Looked like he was going to screen someone and not looking for the pass at all. So a little miscommunication there. William Valencia runs into the attacking zone, and that's one too many Colombian in the.
That's odd. You don't normally see a team go off sides with a short stick.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the exact numbers, like how that happened? Did they just have a long pole stuck up?
I'm not sure. It looked like I thought the call was out of bounds because he was so close to the sideline. But
oh, you know what? You might be right. We actually, again, we are right on top of the sideline here, and with the piping, we can't really see the sideline. He may well have just stepped out. Finland sets up behind the net. Now they toss it out top. Alti Hutnainen. Oh, the pass to Reichel. He gets a shot off. And why did Oscar Cifuentes do that roll? Just because it looked good, I guess. Yeah. That was cool. But the ball, he started going out after the ball, and then he dove, and it kind of threw me because I thought the ball was substantially farther away from him than where he was diving to, and then he just threw in the little roll. That was fun. Here's Robert Reichel working off the check, runs into his own man. A couple of hard swats there from Nicholas Garzon.
Yeah, you could see there Schuler doing a great job on defense against an attackman. He basically had him the whole time until he got help.
That shot stopped by Cifuentes. Battling for is Christian Gonzalez. And now Nicholas Garzon takes on the Finnish player. There's Reichel.
Oh, great save by Cifuentes with his foot.
He's having himself a pretty solid game here. Kimiaho had it just pop out of his stick. We've reached the midway point of the second quarter. Finland leading 8-2 here at the 2018 FIL World Championships. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. Swantosta goes for a bit of a run, then can't quite connect. And I believe they're actually taking a look at Cifuentes to see if he's okay. I believe they're going to take their hydration break. It is the hydration break time. So with 9:39 to go in the second quarter, we will take a break. Just before we take off, we'll remind you that today's game is brought to you in part by Celebrate. Communities everywhere turn to Celebrate's leading digital intelligence solutions every day to help make a safer world more possible. Visit Celebrate.com to see how. And Honig's is proud to be the official provider of game day apparel for referees at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Founded in 1984, Honig's is the right call for all referees, umpires, and officials across all sports in the United States and around the world. For more information, visit Honig's.com. Little spill there. Finland works it around. Gets away from Rope Jokela. The ball just skipped out of the stick there of Henrik Harala. But eventually, Gorman comes up with it. And a holding call gives the ball to Colombia. Pass across to the top to Rodriguez. He's going to put his shoulder down, and then a little sidearm pass. Oh, reverse kind of twisty flip there by Juan Lesmes. That was an interesting shot. Very creative. Couldn't get a lot of power on it, though, with the wrist crossed over like that.
It's a Canadian offhand.
Is that what they call it down here?
You see it a lot in box.
Okay.
In Canada,
you don't really see it a lot in box.
No, maybe not high-level box.
Okay. I watch a lot of box, and I don't see shots like that. I mean, the twister, obviously, you see, but that was more of a, I don't know, interesting variation on the twister.
Well, it's faster than switching to your offhand, right? So if you're in tight on the goalie, just put it around him.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the twister. I love the twister. I use it, and I like when guys use it. It's just that was a bit of a different way of executing. He kind of flipped it so he was kind of shoving it backwards instead of just going so the twister was just changing the angle. That shot by Raitala goes off a Colombian defender way up in the air and lands on the third tier of the stone steps, right up by the score clock.
Yeah, since they've stopped chasing, their defense is looking really good. They're not getting burned on dodges, and it's more about communication.
Yeah, they're looking really comfortable in the limited space. They're not even coming out the restraining line, recognizing Finland's not going to hurt them out there. Going to kind of a 3-3 zone where they just line up and really pick up anyone who comes near them. They do give some room there for Kiviniemi to get a shot off. It goes wide, though, and that was from outside the zoned area of the defense. So. Twin cutters for Finland, and you can see they're trying to adjust to the way that Colombia has adjusted, and I think they actually got in each other's way there. Here's Rope Jokela. Screen set by St. Hill. And then going to the net is Raitala, and he bounces one home, and that is the Robert Raitala I am used to. Lovely touch, bounces it past the feet of Cifuentes.
Yeah, it looks like the only move that's really getting the Colombian team is when the Finnish players tuck the ball in and sort of just step around them after a fake shot. Besides that, their defense has been great.
9-2, Finland takes the lead. As you mentioned, the Colombian fans passionate. They're enjoying themselves, getting their cheer on. And Marcus Wynn he just called it. You don't often see players engaging the fans during a game. He just said, I believe it was his mother. I think he said, Mom, what are you doing? They just scored a goal. Why are you cheering? Hey, I think the Colombian fans and many of the players are very excited to be here and be part of the World Championships and recognizing they're in tough in their pool play, especially in this game against Finland. Nice sharp snap there by Humphrey to pull that ball out of the face-off, but it winds up in the stick of the Finns. Here comes Jimmy Viren. Goes down low. And we're going to have a penalty for getting a little over-aggressive there, but it's going to be wiped out by the goal by Rope Jokela. Gets Cifuentes dropping down a bit and just goes up into the top shelf. Jokela drifts one up. I believe it's going to be wiped out because I think it was just a minor violation.
Yeah, it was good aggressiveness by Cifuentes, but he took it a little too far when he slashed him.
I am surprised that you, as a member of the goalie union, did not say, oh, come on, sometimes you just make a little contact.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's a penalty on him, and they're subbing in their other goal.
Oh, yeah, he is going to. So it is going to be a more major violation. So he will have to go and serve. Which brings in Tim Tebow. Oh, sorry, that's Rafael Guevara, who Tebow's as he arrives in the net. So, big challenge for a goalie to jump in the middle of a quarter. I mean, field lacrosse, they do switch. I notice goalies a lot. Obviously, I have more experience with box, but something you'll really notice in the field is the goalies switching around. And somebody's running out on the field, one of the coaches, I think, to warm him up, and they're just waving him off. That actually should probably be a penalty for sending an official out on the field. I'm kind of stunned that they did that. That was just the officials having a chat at center, and they may be talking about that. I mean, is that delay of game? Is it unsportsmanlike conduct? Is it? It's not too many. It's not too many men on the field because it's not a player. It was a coach.
Yeah, I thought they were going to throw the flag after the second time he tried to go warm him up after he got waved off the first.
Yeah. He got a shot in, though. That's more of a pass. Either way, we'll see if that helps Rafael Guevara. Be ready, because it's going to be a challenge, like I said, coming in the middle of a quarter instead of coming in at the break when you do get a chance to be warmed up. Cifuentes over in the penalty seat with his helmet off. He'll be gone for a minute. Humphrey comes up with the face-off, gets away from a pair of Finnish defenders, and Colombia will take a timeout.
I thought Humphreys had a chance to go to the goal there. He was really running by everyone. He's a lot faster than the Finnish players who were looking to get trail checks. He just burned them.
Yeah, I was all for letting him go. It's when you especially when you see an underdog, and you see, I mean, Harley Humphrey's been working really hard at the face-off down, doing a great job, winning a fair number. And now the Colombian coach who came out to warm up is coming out to talk to the officials, and. Rendon will start with the ball. Wind clears out some space. He is isolated. Trail check by Miller, and the combination there of Miller and Koskinen, just too much, but scooped up nicely by Juan Lesmes. There's a flag coming, and Joachim Miller, we can hear, does not agree with it, but that's going to be a Finnish player, Markus Matla. It's a pushing foul.
Yeah, I was wondering why Colombia wasn't really pressing when they were on the man up and Finland had the ball in their territory, but I guess that's why.
They go up top to Matt Schuler. So 5-on-5, a little more space on this compressed field for Colombia to work with. And now Cifuentes is released and Colombia goes to the man up. And the last man on, I thought he was going to slip into space, but Finland recognized that he was coming at the last second, and Sebastian Lesmes, who came in, was unable to get open. That shot ripped by Matt Schuler, but it was blocked by Koskinen. Goes out of bounds, and Colombia will get it back. Go ahead.
Yeah, Finland's done a great job of communicating. People coming in from the box, changes. It was really just that one goal where there was a miscommunication.
Yeah, that was a big miscommunication. Left Rondon win wide open. That pass jumps away, but it is tracked down by Finland. There's Joachim Miller. That's a cheeky little behind-the-back pass to goalie Lauri Usitalo. Koskinen lobs it across. Kivianiemi. He's going for a run. Well, he's got some wheels, eh? Passes it ahead to Reitland. He is stopped. That's a nice save from Gonzalez because, as we mentioned, the only shots he's faced are the ones from his coach on the sideline without even a net behind. They were basically playing catch. So Gonzalez, great job stepping in. Coming into the final 3 minutes of the first half, it's 10-2 for Finland. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. So Tausta, across to Reitla, and there's the Robert Reitla we know and love, ripping that one. He had a slow start to the day, but there was nothing slow about that shot as he almost burned a hole in the mesh at the back of the goal there.
Yeah, that was a crazy shot, and you could see Cifuentes coming in now.
Yeah, as they get the stop. So we are at 11-2. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. There's lots of action on this Wingate Institute. It's pretty spectacular to be a part of this event. Great win there, this time by Juan Lesmes. Gets it over to Santiago Concha. He's going to try and kick it to a teammate. It bounces away and scooped up by Kiviniemi. Throws it ahead. Nice handling by David Cantula with the long pole in traffic. Boy, I mean, I played long pole as in high school lacrosse, and it is challenging. I mean, you can handle it with the ball, but there's a pass again. Doesn't quite get through to Reitla, but it's one thing to handle it when you got some space, but when there's a lot of people around, there's just guys bumping the end of your stick. It's hard to handle. That was a pretty nice dangle by Cantula. They come over to St. Hill and will take their time. Minute 20 to go. Koskinen over to Reitla. They'll move it up top to St. Hill. Sorry, Gorman Christopher. Now it's with St. Hill. Rope Jokela looking to Reitla. He's going to hang on, though, into the final minute. Backs off and starts to go for a dodge from the top. And then down to the cutter through traffic. Oh, the first one was good. The second one, not so much. Ryan Ceballos. Oh, no, it's not Ceballos. It's Gonzalez. Sorry, I think it was my mistake. I thought it was Ceballos. But the first check was pretty good. A nice little slide, a solid hands together cross check to just bump him off and cause the loose ball. But then the slash down onto the leg is the one that gets that flag every time. "20 seconds left to go in the first half. Finland taking their time, and I'm not sure that St. Hill was ready for that BTB from Rope Jokela, which means Colombia will have the final possession of the first half. They are shorthanded.
Now it looks like they're just trying to ice the half.
I would. I think that's a smart play. Deep in your own zone. Oh, and that would look dangerous, but there was no time left, and Cifuentes was coming out to play a defensive role, and the pass got loose and rolled, but it rolls out of harm's way. So the score at halftime is 11-2 in favor of Finland. Nice, solid performance by them. Colombia doing some solid things. Josh Kreisman, your overall impressions of the first half?
Well, Finland's obviously been dominant, but I think Colombia's looking more together as the half goes on. Their defense is looking a lot more solid now that they sort of realize Finland's not a huge threat from the outside, and I think
testing it doesn't seem to make any difference. Sorry, folks, we were just playing with the soundboard a little bit, trying to figure out what is going on with it, and we're not entirely sure, to be perfectly honest. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman, two announcers and not tech wizards, here on Field 3 at the Wingate Institute, and another hard-fought face-off win for, it's not a win, Harley Humphrey. I thought he had it. Keeps battling, but eventually it is Kiviniemi. I'm nailing it now. Kiviniemi. That was the tough one for me coming into the game. I don't know why. It's just a little trickier. Gives it off to St. Hill. Reitla. Great toe drag and bounces. That's a sick move. And that is just mean to do that to somebody, to anybody. But what a great move by Robert Reitla.
Yeah, it's the move Finland keeps going to near the goal, and it keeps working for him. It's a tough one to stop. Yeah.
And, you see Joe Prieto on Reitla, but, I mean, he threw that fake hard. He was selling that shot. And I honestly, even though they keep going with the toe drag and the pull underneath, I thought he was shooting there the first time, too. And if we're watching it and thinking it, the guy who's right in front, it's hard not to bite on that.
100%. It's they're going to keep, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're probably just going to keep going to it.
Viren and Humphreys. Viren pulls it out. Jimmy Viren through a couple of defenders. He'll hand it off. Kind of got caught up in his stick. That's tough as a face-off guy. The ball gets into your stick, and you just don't know how it's going to come out when you have to make that pass or shot with the ball in the back of the stick. And in that case, it really kind of clogged up on Viren, came out low, and went out of bounds, was turned over. But then Colombia throws it back, and there's Joachim Miller. Thought he might let that one rip. Reitala running across the top. Hits, he misses Altonen. Altonen kind of pulled his stick in. It looked like he was ready to shoot before he had the ball in his stick. And it'll be Colombia possession. Oscar Cifuentes, the goaltender, is back in. And he's going to start with possession here. He's directing traffic. He's like, everybody up the field. Christian Gonzalez is his outlet. Plays blown in. Fuentes thought about Gonzalez. I thought he was open, but wasn't sure. And you could see that Rope Jokela was kind of lurking. So the long pass to win, it's a bit low, will roll away. Severi Koskinen is just going to take his time, let it roll out of play.
It's nice to see the aggressiveness by Colombia on that breakout. They're still, they want to win.
Yeah, you can tell they want to win, but they also, like we talked about, they want to develop as a young nation. They're down 12-2. Their chances of coming back and winning this game aren't brilliant, but their chances of growing are. Oh, that pass from Reitala just bounces off the stick, but he tracks it down, nobody near him. Here comes Alti Hietanen. Procedure call. Oh, Finland had 10 guys on the field. That's frowned upon. So the ball to Colombia and Marcus Wynn. Watched there by Koskinen. Boy, Severi Koskinen's a nice, solid defender. Watched him do this in the box game, where he can do so much with a short stick. You give him a 6-foot pole, and now there's a penalty coming, and that happened right behind the camera again. No offense to our camera operator, but he is a better door than window into that bottom right corner. So Rendon with the ball in behind. And David Cantala got the strip. It looked to me like Cantala was very careful. So, yeah, he's not going to be penalized. He was a little confused. I don't know if he knew the flag was down because he, as the player fell down, Rendon, Cantala just chopped down on his stick, knocked the ball out and picked it up and looked surprised the play was blown down. So I don't think he realized the penalty was coming. But Finland will go to the man down. Rendon will start with the ball. Colombia will see if they can get one on here. Oh, that one slipped by, and we should mention, I forgot to mention at the opening of the half, that Riku Jokela is in net for Finland, the 18-year-old. A really promising
great
goalie.
Spin move.
And it leads to a goal. Alejandro Garzon goes high to low, bounces one past Jokela, and he'll talk with his defenders. Gets a little pat on the back there. What a sweet shot by Garzon.
Yeah, Schuler, that was an incredible play by him, picking up that ball and breaking the defender's ankles with the spin move and finding the open man to score.
Speaking of broken lower extremities, I'm sure Antti Lakinen is watching the game. A friend of mine who was a volunteer at the European Championships last year in Turku, the box championships, and young player, very promising young player who went to Saskatoon this summer to play with the Junior B SWAT, was practicing with the Junior A's, having a great time, great experience practicing and developing his game over in Canada. And then his first game, got 2/3 of the way through and stepped on someone's foot. There's a shot by Jokela, a little bit wide. It will go back to Finland. Broke his foot, had to go back to Finland. He's missing the Founders Cup this year, but he's going through rehab. Things are getting better. He'll get the boot off his foot fairly soon. Wishing him a speedy and full recovery. Finland going to the attack. Gorman throws it over to Jokela. And I'm just recognizing that the man we've been calling Gorman Christopher is actually Christopher Gorman. They've just got it reversed in the program. Number 26, you notice the name right there. You can see him with Gorman on the back of the shirt. So our apologies to Christopher Gorman and the Gorman family. Oh, that pass just slipping through by Cantala. There's some pressure from Gonzalez, but he managed to get it across to Gorman. Slows things down to wait for Richard St. Hill to join him. And then they go down to Reitla, and he almost casually flicks that one into the net. Robert Reitla can do some magical things with a lacrosse stick. So Juan Lesmes comes in for Colombia for the faceoff, giving Harley Humphrey a break. Harley Humphrey, the hardest working man in Colombian lacrosse today, taking those draws. He is battling for everyone. Lesmes just goes with the pop lock, but he can't pop it up to himself. And Kimi Aho slips in and snags that ball as it sprung up in the air. Jarno Aaltonen back to Jokela, to Reitla. He's going to dodge out, turned aside there by Ryan Ceballos. Working the perimeter. Tracy Kluski right there on the restraining line just outside the field of play, directing his team and then turning back to his bench to let them know what he would like them to be doing. Do you see what they're doing out there, he says. Jarno Aaltonen thought about letting it rip. Switches hands down to Jokela. Little spin dodge up top. Swantausta will hand it off to Aho. Patient approach for Finland as they are having trouble opening up shooting lanes against Colombia. When they're being patient, they are coming up with open looks eventually. A lot of them coming down low now. They've stopped really settling for the outside high shots. There's Jokela. He's going to feed it in right on top of the crease to Alti Hutinainen. Hutinainen gets it back.
Yeah, Colombia has really done a great job finding the Finland's shooting range and just staying right at the edge of it, not letting them get any easy shots from outside.
Oh, Jokela goes sidearm. Nice save by Cifuentes. That ball's not going to roll out. You can see Finland was just protecting to let it go, and it didn't get out. Now it goes, and it's off of Mexico. Nice try by Charles Suarez on the cell job. He holds his hands up, says, yep, off of them. We'll take the ball, but it is not going that way. Finland takes possession. A little spin around the check by Sergio Castagno. That one's going to go out of play. Finland takes possession. Colombia slides back into the defensive zone. Altonen's going to have to wait for some changes. There's a couple of Finns heading off. And yet another one. St. Hill takes the pass as he is the sixth attacker out there. All kinds of sticks coming down on St. Hill's stick, and eventually the ball pops out. Hard rip from Alton and goes wide. Finland will get it back, and everyone is going to pause for a drink of water, so we will do the same. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. We'll be back in a minute. It's 13-3 Finland at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Colombia 3. Apparently I called them Mexico at one point a little while ago. Thank you for the subtle attempt to help there, Josh Kreisman, who pointed to the Colombian flag in the program. And I had no idea what you were talking about because I had no idea that it said Mexico. One of the challenges of calling a lot of games in a tournament like this is once in a while you will call a team by the wrong name or a player by the wrong name. So we apologize for any mistakes we make, but we're very pleased to be able to bring you these games from the 2018 FIL World Championships. I am Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman, and we are here in the third quarter, second half of the third quarter, here on Field 3. I'm really liking this field, even though it takes a bit to get used to for us even, with the compressed size of the field, but it makes everything very immediate. There's always something happening. You can't really get away too much. And you see right here with Richard St. Hill up above the restraining line, he's 3 strides away from being in shooting position. Jarno Aaltonen from there is about 1 stride because he's got the big strides. And he has the ball now. Passes off to Jokela, who casually reaches up with one hand, can't quite handle it. Kivianemi comes in to help. Ball still loose. Jokela trying to get it. Has a man all over him and William Valencia. Altonen fakes the pass. Now he goes to St. Hill. And Colombia gets it back. Nice catch there by Valencia. She takes the over-the-shoulder pass and just cradles it in near his chest as he catches it. Now Rendon will just wait for his cohort to get out there. Danny Rodriguez comes off the bench looking for the ball, but Rendon's going to wait. Still waiting. Spinning, starting to head in, trying to get past Lavati. Goes to Marcus Wynn. He gets a pick that Cantola ran almost straight through. The flag is up. Tripping call.
It's amazing to see Wynn versus Jokela, the two guys who have been working the most at X. Wynn will just take it in that short amount of space and go right for the net, while Jokela has to drift to the corner to find a little bit of space to complete his dodge.
So Colombia on the man up after the tripping call to Henrik Harala. Pass pops out of the stick of Sebastian Lesmes, but he gets it back. Looks like Chucho Arias was thinking about letting her rip, passes it off instead. Here's a chance for Rendon. What a rip! Rendon is fired up. And that was pretty good defense by Severi Koskinen. He got on him quickly, but just when you don't need much time to get the shot off, you can make plays like that, and what a finish by Rendon.
Yeah, that quick release is so deadly, and with teams that have length like Finland, it often looks like the players are covered, but normally it's just the stick. The stick will get there early, but the body won't. And so that allows Colombia to get a shot off.
Yeah, good point. I mean, you got it. Obviously, you're leading with the stick, but sometimes you got to get it on the hands, and didn't necessarily get it there. But Rendon, to be fair to the Finnish players and Koskinen in particular, didn't leave them a lot of time to jump out on him.
Oh no, that was such a fast release. I'm surprised the shot was that quick off.
And when that happens, obviously, the key is that you're ready for your shot. You know where you want to go, so you're ready to shoot before the ball gets there. And then as it's hitting your stick, you're already taking off. Both face-off men jumping pretty quick. Humphreys battling for it. And it will be Colombian ball, but then thrown away. Oh, and it looks like a bit of a strain. Santiago Concha grabbing his groin, looking very unhappy. As he made that pass and just collapsed as the ball was leaving his stick. The pass wasn't quite accurate, and you can see why, because he was already feeling that something had gone. Oh, good sign that he's hopping up. He's going to make his own way off the field. Christian Gonzalez will come in for him. And he's actually moving okay, so good to see Santiago Concha able to trot off under his own steam. He's heading to the back side of the tent. And he's got to be careful with that. In a tournament like this where you're playing every day, you have a series of games, it's a grind to get through the week, and people are going to get banged up. There are going to be issues. You have to be very smart about how you handle things when you get any kind of a physical ailment. Altonen's going to come over to Raitala. Helminen to Kasalmi. There's Jokela. Moves down to Altonen. And Jarno Altonen right into the stick of Cifuentes. And Altonen just looked up. And then the check by Raitala. And Cifuentes is holding his head after Raitala's stick got onto Cifuentes on the follow-through. Cifuentes had a fist bump from the referee. Not quite sure what that was about, but they seem to be having fun. The pass through to Koskinen. Sorry, Kaselmi. And he was hit immediately. Boy, Colombia really jumping on those slides. Nice save by Cifuentes on the sidearm by Yimi Viren. And Cifuentes makes the short pass. Pressure immediately on Matt Schuler, but a great spin to get away. And then the high step fake. Here comes Colombia with some speed, looking to transition. Rendon will just spin it back out. Gio Rendon didn't like what he saw, so he's going to set it up. Goes to Danny Rodriguez. Wynn wants him to keep moving and pressing. Shoots. And that, I think, was a bit of a late reaction to hearing his team encouraging him to press and then probably forcing a shot there.
Yeah, Schuler is just so quick. It's amazing. He's made, on 2 of his dodges, he's made Finnish players fall over. I haven't seen that happen in any other game.
They're grasping at air as he gets away from them. It's the acceleration. You see that in the real, those explosive athletes. He's just those first couple steps, right? He's just gone. And he can change directions so quickly as well. Here's Jimmy Viren going for a run. Nobody in the middle for Finland, so he's going to circle around the outside of the formation. Jokela will let it fly. Stopped by Cifuentes. Boy, Cifuentes is seeing the ball well this half.
Yeah, he's really elevating his game, especially after that penalty he took.
Yeah, there's nothing like it for a goalie. Having to go and serve a penalty and sit there and consider things can really give you time to focus yourself. I like the shooter strings in the mesh on his stick too. He's just had it up straight onto the camera and over to us. And he's got the yellow and the red of Colombia nicely enmeshed. He'll throw it back to Cifuentes. He'll make sure everything's in place and just calmly walk forward. Now they are down by 9, 13-4 with about 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. So patience is a virtue, but a little urgency is probably called for if they do want to try and come back and win this game. Big collisions there. A little feistiness shown there by Juan Lesmes getting into it with Henrik Harala. There's Lesmes with the ball. Big bump by Kimi Aho. That's a great check. The stick actually helicoptered out of the hands of Lesmes. That pass almost gets away from Koskinen. I'm not sure he was ready to receive that pass from Joachim Hlevati. All works out well, though, and Aho's going to go for a bit of a run over center. Trail check by Rondon, but great strong hold on the stick by Aho. That was a good chop by Rondon, right down on the hand and stick. Kiviniemi. Kiviniemi is an interesting story. Actually got the word from Antti Lakinen over in Finland watching the game, and glad you were able to get up and join us after a bit of a sleep in there, Antti. But Kiviniemi, 18 years old. He's only been playing the game for 3.5 years. And he's done most of it in the United States, but the Finnish player is back in his native land, or with his compatriots from his native land. Raitala misses another pass, that one from Jokela. That ball slowly rolling toward the sideline. Eventually gets out. No, they're going to say a loose ball push. That push in the back, so Colombia will get possession. Long pass by Cifuentes, leading Wynn. I think they just made eye contact. Wynn gave him the little head nod, saying toss it ahead, and then he would try to run onto it like a wide receiver, but a little bit too much air under it, and you can see Cifuentes called out to him and tapped himself in the chest, saying, my bad. Wynn's quick, but he's not that quick.
It's tough. They're trying to push the pace by clearing the ball right to the attack, but it's a really high-risk, high-reward play.
Jokela down to Aaltonen. Robert Raitala. For some reason, the blue bill or peak on the helmet of Robert Raitala seems to stand out a little bit more than most of the Finnish guys. Maybe I just really noticed with him. Take a look to the left there. See how the blue is just really jumping off the top of his helmet? I don't know why. Mika Helminen throws it over to Anssi Käselmi. I just knew he was throwing it to Käselmi, and that's why I said Anssi in the first place. There's Rope Jokela down to Aaltonen. Feet in the middle. Tic-tac-toe passing. Helminen left all alone. And just the quick stick. Oscar Cifuentes letting his guys know that you can't just leave him sitting there in front. I would rather you check that man right on top of my crease.
Yeah, that's tough. Like the ball, it didn't even look like it went in his stick for more than a split second. incredible how fast their hands are at this level.
Yeah, and that's the box side again of this Finnish team coming out. Humphrey and Viren. Down, set. Great clamp. Quick one by Humphrey. Then he's going to win it himself. No, he might. No. Nobody can pick it up. And it's Humphrey. Nice work. Finland wanted Humphrey to put that down with the possession call. He didn't realize it. Oh, what a quick finish. That ball may have spent less time in Roope Jokela's stick than the last one spent in Mika Helminen's stick. As he actually got the... It looks so good when you have a player like that where Jokela sees where the ball is coming, times it perfectly, where he actually almost starts his shot, a little sweep shot, starts it behind where the ball is going to be, starts shooting in an arc where he knows the ball is coming into the stick, and catches it as his stick is coming through to make that shot. It's just such a beautiful timing thing.
Yeah, it was real. It looked like something from basketball. That.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends. We are ready for quarter number 4 from the FIL World Championships here in Netanya. Get an extra competitive edge by upgrading to a Sisu, the official mouthguard of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Sisu offers more protection with less mouthguard, so you can talk, breathe, and drink with no problem. Learn more at sasuguard.com. That's sisuguard.com. I'm Steven Stamp, joined by Josh Kreisman. It is 15-4 in favor of Finland, now going left to right in their blue with the white numbers against Colombia, and Harley Humphrey goes early. And we'll head back, surrender the ball, and head back to play defense. And gives the universal head tilt up to the sky, like, why did I go early? Boy, he's had a strong game, though.
Well, they're going to need to start scoring soon if they want to make this 11-goal comeback.
Excellent point. Up top to Helminen. He goes over to Kaselmi. Patiently working the ball around. Raitala back up top to Helminen. Kaselmi comes well across to help out. Yemi Viren slipping into the middle. And he's noticed the hard rip stopped by Cifuentes as Altonen let that one fly. Scooped up there by Charles Suarez, who's going for a run. Cradling in one hand, protects it. Nice spin move. Great job valuing the ball. Now, where's he going to go? Oh, and he just rolls it where Yemi Viren can pick it up. It was a nice idea because he saw that he had his man with him, but leads to the huge save by Cifuentes. I was about to say that it led to the goal at the other end by Raitala. What a save by Cifuentes. He has really come on in this game. And Colombia actually gets a little bit of a break because I think they kind of threw the ball away on that pass, but the officials pulling it back because they hadn't started from the correct spot, so they get to restart. And Orion Ceballos will throw the sidearm pass ahead, gets away from Castaño. Nice job there by Cantala to pressure him, and then the ball eventually pops out and is snagged by Joachim Hlevati. Head to Altonen. He's got Timonen down low, but he's going to run far side. And then they try and feed it through to Timonen, but it's snagged by Cifuentes, who has been sharp. Oscar Morales. Oh, he's stripped by Matala. Matala was looking for the trailer, but Altonen wasn't running in with him, so he decides to just slow it up. Patiently set it as Raitala. Will lob it up to the top.
It's interesting with... the way Finland's been scoring, they sort of have to capitalize on when Colombia's not in this zone. And I was surprised he decided to just slow it down.
Yeah, those transition chances are good for them. Then again, it's 15-4. You want to be smart, value possession, let the clock keep ticking. Right, a hard pass to Altonen right in the middle. Aho with the finish. Colombia trying to collapse on Aho, but there's a bit of a size mismatch. Obviously, Aho, a pretty tall fellow. And you saw Oscar Morales sliding over to him, but probably 6 or 8 inches in difference in height between those two, or maybe more.
Well, it's always tough when you end up with that mismatch when there's an attackman on the crease with a midfielder.
Yeah, when you have the short stick trying to pick that guy up, you don't have the edge of being able to reach him with your stick. It's almost the defensive equivalent of your stick having eyes that you don't, where your stick, if you reach out, you've just created a new shooting angle for yourself with your stick extended. Defense is similar, right? You can reach out with a stick and expand your defensive checking radius, but in this case, not an option. Got a procedure call, and that one's going to be against David Cantula. So Harley Humphrey will have the ball. Immediate pressure from Cantula, and then help coming in as well from Kiviniemi. Huge hit there. Henrik Harala bumps his man, knocks the ball right out of bounds. Kiviniemi will come and take, but no, he's going to go off. Thought he was coming to take possession. Is that a timeout? Some kind of a break.
Looks like a timeout on the scoreboard that says that there's 75 seconds left.
Yeah, there we go. So we will let you know that this game is brought to you in part by New Balance Lacrosse. Wear what the world's best are wearing, a cleat designed specifically for the game of lacrosse. The all-new Freeze 2.0. Find out more information on our NB Lacrosse Instagram account and shop at newbalance.com/lacrosse. There's going to be a quiz, Josh, so I hope you're listening to these. Our game today is also brought to you in part by 3D Lacrosse. With 15 markets across the United States, 3D Lacrosse is America's premier provider of lacrosse training and player development services, including box field hybrid training, select travel teams, team tournaments, recruiting showcases, leagues, and more. Visit 3dlacrosse.com today. And our thanks to all of our sponsors making this tournament possible and the streaming of it. We're very happy to have you along with us. I'm Steven Stamp with Josh Kreisman. We are near the midway point of quarter number 4. It's 16-4 in favor of Finland. You're nervous about the quiz.
Yeah.
I can sense it.
Maybe a bit. I was just thinking about I've played in a lot of tournaments where we played against 3D lacrosse teams, and they were all really dominant.
Yeah, it's quite a program that's been developed there. So Colombia has possession. The ball must have popped out off of a Finnish player. That was the huge hit by Henrik Harala. Did jar the ball loose, and it went out of bounds. I actually thought it was off the Colombian stick. But
I think they called the timeout before he was hit.
Oh, intriguing. Or at least before the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Because as long as the ball hasn't been recovered by someone else, I believe possession is still officially with the team who had the ball. If nobody else has picked it up and it hasn't gone out of bounds. So if so, that was a really sharp timeout call. We're actually just over 4 minutes into this fourth quarter. Little shot over the top there. Doesn't quite work out for Matt Schuler. Nicolas Garzon coming through in a big collision with Kiviniemi. Almost his own player being banged into him. Kiviniemi pops right up. Ball rolls out of play, and Colombia will surrender possession. Finland will come forward. Riku Jokela, the brother of Rope Jokela. Riku Jokela, who came to British Columbia to play this summer, played for Neil Doddridge, his assistant coach here with the Finns in BC in the junior league, or in the Tier 1 junior B league. Maybe headed to the Founders Cup, being picked up by the Coquitlam team that is probably heading off to Founders, the Canadian Junior B Championships in Akwesasne this year. Pass through doesn't quite connect. Rolls all the way over to Altonen. Kiviniemi decides to go back to Altonen. St. Hill down to Alton. There's a cutter. Pass doesn't get through. Nicely picked off there by Charles Suarez. Alton swings his leg up over the top of Suarez as Suarez was down on the ground. Right lever pass. Oh, nice foot save again by Cifuentes. That one was on Matthias Timonen. And then the long outlet pass. Rendon's going to have to try and run onto it. Gio Rendon. What hustle, but he can't get there quite in time.
Yeah, it looked like Cifuentes was just trying to put the ball where it wouldn't land out of bounds, but his player could outrun the defender. Didn't work out there, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, almost worked. Something worth trying. The only thing is, what a save by Cifuentes. It'll roll back to him. The one thing is, if you're doing that, it's not giving you the time to work on your regular clear. I mean, if those home run passes work, they look great, and that's a nice job by Rendon. Gio Rendon with the player all over him on defense, manages to get possession. And they throw it up top to Chucho Arias. Now it is Matt Schuler at the top. Sebastian Lesmes. Down to Alejandro Garzon. Colombia being very patient here, which is pretty much fine with Finland, who lead 16-4 with 12 and a half minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Schuler with the spin, the pass to Rendon. It just got away from him. Barely eluded his stick. A run there from Axel Rantanen. Haven't really seen a lot of him, just being a quiet stay-at-home defender today, but Rantanen with a run. And it leads to a goal. Nice jumping finish by Anssi Käselmi. I'm not a huge fan of the jump shot, but in that case, it really did change the plane and give fits to Cifuentes.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Finland hasn't used the jump shot more in this game because they're so much just taller than the Colombian players. It really opens up shooting lanes for them.
Yeah, I guess if you can jump up, I mean, to me, if you're taller, then you've already got the shooting lane. You don't necessarily need to jump, but I guess if they're coming out to try and get on your hands and you jump, it does give you that extra little bit of height that does make it difficult for them to get up to. Two schools of thought. Barron, Humphrey. Humphrey pulls it back beautifully to Ryan Ceballos. He's going for a run. Back to Humphrey. Wynn taking his time. Sorry, that was Javier Guapacha. Alejandro Garzon. Garzon is stripped by Koskinen. Gets it ahead. Tuominen.
Colombia is missing an LSM on the field.
Yeah, 3 short stick D middies. You don't want to give up that benefit or that advantage that you have as a defense. The substitution pattern just kind of got them stuck with the extra short stick D midi.
Yeah, it was odd. The midfielder pressed when they were clearly making a change. They had 2 guys running off the field.
Käselmi switches hands and just lets it fly. Cifuentes repeatedly giving direction to his teammates. We will take the hydration timeout. I am Steven Stemp, joined by Josh Kreisman, and we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Play. B. Let's play. We're into the final 10 minutes and 4 seconds. Finland will start with possession. And Colombia just zipping their D-midi, their last D-midi out, just as play was about to get blown in. That was Oscar Morales rushing out. Oh, a nice little misty wind coming. That's a lovely, refreshing breeze. Käselmi can't quite handle that pass that was thrown low about knee height and then skipping across the turf. It's not artificial turf when I say turf. It's just the natural grass. Lovely fields. It's funny, this morning I got here early and the sprinklers came on before the teams were here. The sprinklers came on to the right side of the field as we're looking at it. There's a shot from the outside by Garzon, Alejandro Garzon, taking the rip. Doesn't quite work out for him, a good effort. And then as the Colombians were arriving and walking on the entrance to our left, the sprinklers on the left side of the field came on, and they were getting sprayed as they walked onto the field, kind of looking around in surprise. And I don't think the scorers table and tent was too thrilled that the sprinklers went on and got onto the gear over there. Yeah, but everyone got it ready for the game.
Yeah.
Oh, Rope Jokela tries to shoot the ball through Oscar Cifuentes. And Cifuentes makes the save, no problem, then just stays in his crouch as he took a hard shot. And you do not want to get hit in the nether regions there. He is not happy. We may be seeing his backup coming back in.
I don't know, looks like he's good.
Yeah, they're asking if he's okay. He's not walking like he's okay. Takes the pass, though. Makes the short pass to make sure everything's good. Good for you, Oscar Cifuentes. I'm impressed with the game this young man has had today.
100%. He's been outstanding, especially in the second half.
What a catch by Garzon going up to get that one. Spins. Alejandro Garzon having himself a nice little stretch here. Chucho Arias fighting through the checks. Gets away from Koskinen. And that pass goes out of play. Win kind of tossing his stick to try and catch that one. Finland will take possession. The ball magically appears from off the screen. And here comes Finland. The ball in the stick of Risto Swantausta. 3 Colombians, and they get it free. Win coming. He's going to try and press things. Doesn't have anybody with him. And everybody from Finland on him. Oh, nice job, though, to fight for it. Play is blown down. I think we're going to have an officials discussion because one has called a blue hold, giving the ball to Colombia. Danny Rodriguez is limping off. Boy, the carnage in this game for Colombia. They've had some guys shaken up. Actually wondering, have we seen, was it Christian Gonzalez that went off earlier, or was it Ryan Ceballos? Remember that's...
I thought it was Concha who went off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. It was Santiago Concha.
Well, he's on the bench now. You can see him, number 0.
He's the one with the ponytail over on the bench, and it's hanging down on his chest. And he looks, he's standing there with everybody. Looks like he's ready to come in. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I hadn't noticed that. Thank you for remembering that. I'm giving you 2 options. It was a trick question. Just want to see if you were paying attention. Well done. Nice run by Kimi Aho. Boy, this is a guy who can play at either end of the field, as we have seen. Just 23 years old.
Well, crossbar really saved the goalie right there.
Goalies like to say that if it hits the crossbar or the post, they just didn't give you enough room to shoot it in. Do you subscribe to that theory?
I don't, but I was talking to someone while I was scorekeeping the game, and he said, instead of putting post, it's a save.
Exactly. That is a move that Robert Reitala and the Finnish team in general have pulled. The toe drag, pull it by, and then bouncer. And that was a gorgeous bouncer. High angle from above the head, down onto the ground, and up just under the crossbar. That one hits on the inside back of the crossbar. That makes it a goal for Robert Reitala, and it's 18-4 for Finland with 6:40 to go in the 4th.
Oh, there's Concha. He's on the field now, so...
Excellent. Glad to see he's right in front of you there on the camera. Number 0. Excellent to see, because he definitely was looking a little uncomfortable. They'll send Joachim Lavati to battle with him. Coach says, I'm going to go to the other side. Procedure on Yimi Viren, so Harlan Humphrey will get the ball, and Concha, he looks all right as he's running off. Oh, he's sprinting. Yes, that's nice to see, because it is, when you get a ding, it's tough to come back, so it's nice to see that he's feeling okay. Chucho Arias throws it to Win. It bounces off his chest, and Arias very nonchalantly goes over and gets a ball that, if it was me, would have rolled out of bounds. So I'm not quick enough to go get that. Alex Mandel passes down. Ball is stopped. Jokela gets it, has to get away from him, but he does control it. Riku Jokela with the pass to Yimi Viren. That's a great outlet pass, but Viren runs into a wall. Somehow, though, eludes the check of Alex Mandel, runs into the offensive zone, hands it off to Reitala. It's a great run by Yimi Viren. And, I mean, it's fairly obvious he's not the biggest guy, but a lot of heart. It's like he's from Orangeville, the pit bull mentality, and just absolutely blasts through coverage. Reitler with the shot. That one's tipped, blocked by a defender, but it does roll over to Roope Jokela. Pass behind the net. They come out to Reitler. Little fake and a reach around. That one stopped. Nice job by Colombia. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. I was asking Pentti Peikonen, the assistant coach with Finland, just going over the names, make sure we had everything. There's a few guys I wasn't familiar with before the game, and I was like, okay, I've heard different people tell me different things. My understanding is it's Roope Jokela, but I've been told it's Roope because it's Roope, and there he is shooting. Nice save by Cifuentes. And Pentti said it is Roope, except he said it's Roope. And Neil Doddridge, assistant coach for Finland, was standing there. He said, Stamper, you got to roll your R's when you're saying Roope Jokela. And I said, I'm not rolling my Roope Jokela R's during the game very much because it's an effort for me. I can do it a little bit, as y'all can hear, but will not be in the general flow of play, I don't think. Josh Kreisman, we have a little bit of a break here as it's 18-4. So I just wanted to ask about how you're doing, how you're enjoying your time, and you are a Montreal guy, but you're going to University of Ottawa. What are you doing there?
So at University of Ottawa, I'm studying accounting. I'm hoping to do a co-op there. So far, I'm loving the city of Ottawa. It's really relaxed. Montreal is very sort of busy, fast-paced, and Ottawa's much more sort of laid back.
True. Montreal is pretty cosmopolitan. Ottawa, I mean, it's a world city, obviously the national capital. Great city, Ottawa. I mean, there's so much there. You're going to love it. You got to get to the museums. And the thing is, the people who live there aren't going to want to go with you because everyone who comes is like, oh, take me to the Museum of Anthropology. Take me to the sounds deathly boring to me, but I'm sure you're finding it very interesting and great city. And University of Ottawa, I'm trying to convince Josh, folks, that he should play. He's a goalie, hasn't played for a bit, but he is in Ottawa, and I think he should be a GG. I think they could use you. Callum Crawford is a terrific coach, great lacrosse man, and they've put together a really good staff there and a good program. They're growing. Not one of the stronger programs in Kufla, but building. I think they could use you, and I think you could use them.
Yeah, I played with Callum during my time with the Ottawa Capitals. And
but you didn't get the cool green and black striped jersey.
No, but I got the nice matte black helmets.
Nice. Those are sweet. Colombia with the ball. Sebastian Lesmes with possession. Akseli Rantanen on him. The ball rolls out of play, but it's off the Finns, and Colombia will retain possession. Marcus Wynn's going to step inbounds. Play is blown in. We've got 4 minutes to go here. And he may have wished he'd passed that ball. Wow, Joachim Miller and Severi Koskinen making life hard on Wynn, but he's still got the ball. And then Joachim kind of swacks him in the face with the errant stick, and Wynn still has it.
It's interesting. It's interesting seeing Miller being one of the better matchups against Wynn for Finland because Wynn's really been giving everyone the business, and Miller's holding his own until then.
Yeah, he's going to take a penalty for the push in the back. You like that call?
It was a push to the back, but it wasn't strong. I guess
gentle little push.
The refs may want to see Colombia put a few more goals in before they.
Okay, I'm not going to say that. I will say that they are aware that Wynn had been running around taking a beating. You and I are both Canadian. We just see that and say, yeah, that's a check.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's interesting talking to the American interns. There were a lot of big hits in the Iroquois-U.S. game that they thought should have been penalties, but I saw it just being lacrosse.
There you go. Nice save by Riku Jokela. He's got a bright future ahead of him in both the box and field games. Nice run by Marcus Matla, who's going back to Canada. He's played there. Several of these Finnish players have headed over to Canada, working through the connections with Neil Doddridge and Tracy Kolaski. And they love their box. They love their field, but they really are kind of a box nation in a lot of ways. And here's Roope Jokela, just waiting for some changes. Finland has had a bit of a downward trajectory, coming 9th in 2006 in London back in their first World Championships. Fell to 12th in 2010, one more spot to 13th in 2014. They want to climb back up the ladder. And the cool thing about what Finland is doing, these are all Finnish players. There's a couple of Canadians, Richard St. Hill and Christopher Gorman. But these are Finnish guys, and they've brought over Koleski and Doddridge. They bring them to Finland to help the players develop as opposed to bringing players. There's a rip by Raitala, and when you have talent like Robert Raitala to work with, you just nurture it. And they're really building a ground-up program with these Finns, and it's very cool to see. And Colombia obviously working to build as well, but you can see Finland is several steps along the process.
Yeah, you really need a strong foundation to build a good lacrosse program, and I'm sure in the coming years, Colombia will be able to sort of get that as they play longer. It becomes a bigger sport in their country. One of the big things with all the top teams is that they all have a strong foundations. Lacrosse is really part of their culture. Like the Iroquois team, they created the sport. Canada, it's our national sport. In the U.S., it's huge in college.
Yes. We're down to the final minute 40 here. And it's an interesting, the interplay between the two. That is part of why we talk about the two disciplines of field and box and their interplay. It's fascinating to see how they affect each other. All the U.S. college lacrosse coaches say play box lacrosse and you will get better at field lacrosse. And there's some carryover the other direction, not as direct. Nice pickup by Kimi Aho. The pass ahead, I thought it was a pretty good pass, but it just skips away from Mika Helman, and he does go and recover it, and then it pops out. He gets it back. Finland slowing things down a little bit. 19-4. We'll see if they push for the 20th marker. They do, but it just doesn't get through. Oh, those are some chops. And there's the flag coming from the high referee, and I don't think there's a whole lot of question that Ryan Ceballos went a bit over the line. Mika Helmanen he was heading to the bench. He's going to turn back and stay. So Ceballos will go and sit for the remainder of the game almost, as there's only 1:04 to play.
Yeah, what I didn't realize until yesterday is that in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, it's all stop time.
It is. It's true. And the last minute of the first half.
Right?
Yeah. So Finland on the man up. Raitala loads it up hard. Pass across to Jokela. He's turned aside. Great job there by Christian Gonzalez. Oh, a little overzealous.
Yeah, it looked like he had one too many checks when Jokela took his hand off the stick.
Yeah. See, that one I was okay with. That's just some solid checking, but you can see how it gets called. The other one was obvious on Ceballos. I think he definitely got a little, and low, right? You get below the waist, and it's definitely a check you down on the legs. But Gonzalez, like you said, when Jokela took his hand off the stick, it was just a little far and a little too repeated. Raitala up top. Gives it off to Aho. And Jokela finds a spot. He went high to high past the stick of the goaltender Rafael Guevara, who is in for Cifuentes. And they hit 20. It's 20-4 for Finland with 32 seconds to go. Thank you so much, lacrosse friends, for being with us here at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Thank you for all of you sending your energy waves to convince Josh Kreisman to go and play for the Ottawa GGs. They have horses on their as their gear. It's very cool.
Yeah, I've seen it. Actually, when I came on this trip, I left at like 6 a.m. for the train station to go to Toronto to catch my plane, and I forgot my GG's hat in Montreal.
That's a tragic tale, but you can get another one. You can get a jersey, everything. There's a shot by Rope Jokela. Nice save by Guevara. And crease call against Finland. They'll give up the ball with 19 seconds to play. We'll see Harley Humphrey try to push it. I want to see him go end to end and put one in. Oh, but the ball pops out of his stick. He doesn't get it back. It's going to be Yemi Viren. Oh, there's the commitment to that defensive play by Guevara, and it works out. Jokela will back away. I thought that might not end well.
It was a brave play by Concha stepping into the net while his goalie was out, seeing as he's already been out for a few minutes with an injury.
Time will wind down to 0, and the final score, Finland 20, Colombia 4. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steven Stamp. This has been Josh Kreisman, and we will wrap things up on Field 3 here at the 2018 FIL World Championships in Netanya, Israel. I almost said Netanya, Finland. Netanya, Israel. Thank you so much for being with us. We will see you soon. Keep coming back. There's lots of lacrosse to watch.